For my in-depth project, I have chosen to raise the question, should individuals be allowed to choose medically assisted death? In many countries, there is a divisive public controversy over the moral, ethical, and legal issues of medically assisted death. The debate regarding legalization raises strong feelings both amongst those who support such a practice and those who are against it. Stories and interviews of seriously sick patients and their relatives appealing for assisted suicide or euthanasia touch many of us emotionally. The debate is complex and comprises important dilemmas and arguments on both sides. There are three main types of assisted death. Assisted suicide is suicide committed with the aid of another person. Active euthanasia is when a person deliberately intervenes to end someone's life. And passive euthanasia is when a person causes death by withholding or withdrawing treatment. Governmental involvement in end-of-life decisions varies from one jurisdiction to another. In most countries, assisted suicide and active euthanasia are prohibited under law, while passive euthanasia is legal. This is also the case in Norway. Switzerland, Germany, Mexico, and 5 American states are more liberal, allowing both assisted suicide and passive euthanasia. Active euthanasia is only legal in Belgium, Holland, and Luxembourg. Proponents of euthanasia emphasize that people should have freedom of choice, including the right to control their own body and life. The state should not create laws that prevent people being able to choose when and how they die. It is argued that the greatest human freedom is to live and die according to one's own desires and beliefs. Furthermore, it is emphasized that we have an obligation to relieve the suffering of our fellow human beings and to respect their dignity. Dr. Donald Lowe was a famous microbiologist who died the 18th of September 2013. He suffered from an incurable brain tumor and fought to make euthanasia legal in Canada. In a video just a week before he died, he said, "Why make people suffer for no reason when there is an alternative? I just don't understand it." He wanted to die with dignity, but felt that he didn't get the chance. Some fear that legalization of assisted death is a slippery slope to legalized murder. Once a healthcare service starts killing citizens with support from the government, a line is crossed, and a dangerous precedent has been set. In a society with focus on the costs of healthcare, terminating life can be considered as a benefit. Therefore, the society has a duty to oppose a legislation that poses such a threat to the lives of innocent persons. Asking a physician to carry out euthanasia or assist in a suicide can be considered as a violation of fundamental medical ethics. Through the Hippocratic Oath, physicians swear never to do harm to anyone. Furthermore, they swear that they will give no deadly drug to anybody if asked, nor suggest any such counsel. Opponents of assisted suicide and euthanasia claim that there is no reason for a person to suffer either mentally or physically because effective end-of-life treatments are available. If a person is given the right care in the right environment, there should be no reason why they are unable to have a dignified and painless natural death. Furthermore, there is a danger that some could be tempted to adopt the practice of assisted suicide or euthanasia in an effort to save money. Drugs for assisted suicide are far less expensive than providing medical care. Therefore, terminating life can be considered as a benefit. A liberalization of the laws might pose a threat to the lives of innocent persons, and certain social groups might be at larger risk of abuse than others. Some might want to get rid of lives they consider worthless or undesirable, like the severely handicapped infant or the senile woman. The Christian, Jewish, and Islamic faith may argue for the sanctity of life. Human beings are the sacred creation of God, so human life is by extension sacred. Only God should choose when a human life ends, so committing an act of euthanasia or assisting in suicide is acting against the will of God and thereby sinful. Living wills can be used to refuse extraordinary life-prolonging care. These can provide clear and convincing evidence that may be necessary to refuse care after one becomes terminally ill, and provide evidence of one's wishes regarding end-of-life care. My conclusion is that we should respect both views in this complex matter. The death wish of terminally ill patients with severe and protected illness is easy to understand, as well as the wish to relieve them of their suffering. On the other hand, life is precious and the ethical dilemmas are substantial. I can't blame medical doctors who feel that euthanasia is in conflict with their medical oath and wish to save lives. My sources are taken from websites on the internet at specified dates. Reliable health and social care information are taken from NHS, which is certified by the Information Standard. This information is further supplied and checked towards several sources of information on Wikipedia, the website of the Norwegian government, Fremskrittspartiet, and the Vatican. Subjective arguments and personal stories are partly based on the websites of CBC, BBC, TV2, SCU, and Procon. The photos in my presentation are found on the internet and listed here. The dates of retrieval are specified. Thank you for listening to my debate.